Hello there, Cocomelons. Welcome to Educate. Wonderful great hands. Today we're going to do the igneous intrusion as well as the types of rocks. So I've made a video on the internal structure of the earth as well as the layers that we find under the earth, or the layers that you find when you dig. I will put the link of that video into the description. Make sure that you watch that video so that you understand this one, because I will be referring to certain concepts there. Remember, we have said that we're actually living on top of a crust. So this layer here from the ground that we're at, maybe this is your school. I don't believe that your school looks this beautiful. Hey, this is not a school in South Africa. Definitely not. Maybe it's in Limpopo or something. So now basically this is the crust. So this is our crust. We've discussed this in our previous video, saying that the crust is just made up of rocks, is the layer that we stay at. Okay, the layer that we live in. All right. And then the layer that follows the crust, it is known as the mantle. So the mantle, it is just the next layer here. It is known as the mantle. So now remember, we said last time that deep underground we have a mantle layer, and this mantle layer has got something that is known as what? That is known as molten magma. As I explained it in my previous video, I've said that molten magma, it looks like the movite or the porridge that you eat. Okay, it looks like a porridge. The texture of the molten magma, it looks like porridge, but it is actually rocks. It is actually rocks. So basically the mantle layer has got molten magma, as I've shown here. So this red layer, this red is actually representing the molten magma. So now it can happen that this molten magma can rise. It can do what? It can rise and try to come up to the Earth's surface. Remember that the Earth's surface is basically where we are at. This is the Earth's surface. So this molten magma, it can try its best to do what? To rise and come up to the Earth's surface. And when it rises and comes up to the Earth's surface, sometimes it cannot reach the Earth's surface. It cannot pass through the layers of rocks that we find at the what? At the crust. So now look at this. This is the magma rising up. This is the magma is rising, is trying to rise, is trying to reach the top, is trying to reach the Earth's surface. But it can happen that it fails to reach the Earth's surface, and then it will just form something like this. It will just become a solid. Remember, we've said that molten magma is more like a liquid. Its texture is almost like a liquid. It's more like a porridge-like shape. So as the molten magma tries and rises, because here the idea is of this image is that the molten magma, it is trying to rise. It is trying to do what? It is trying to rise and come up into the Earth's surface where we are at. But it sometimes fails to get there. So if it forms this landform, we'll give it a name. It can try to rise again. Here it is trying to rise. It's trying to rise and come up. It's actually trying to rise and come up to the Earth's surface, but it can happen that it creates this shape. It can also try to rise up like this, but it happens that it creates this shape. So why is the molten magma not able to reach the top? It just means that it has just solidified here at this point. It just means that the molten magma just became a solid. It's more like the water that is becoming an ice. Okay, let's just say water is trying to flow. Water is trying to flow from KZN to USA, and then it happens that that water becomes ice. It won't be able to continue to flow and go to USA. Of course, that's theoretical. Nothing as such exists. So in this case, the same applies for molten magma. The molten magma that we find in the mantle layer of the earth, it always tries to rise and come up to the Earth's surface, but it can happen that it solidifies or it becomes stiff. Remember, it becomes a solid. Okay, so when it becomes a solid beneath the Earth's surface, because it was not able to reach the top where we are at the ground. Okay, so that's where we talk about igneous intrusive activity. So when molten magma rises but does not reach the Earth's surface, it solidifies or it becomes hard. Okay, it becomes hard. So when it becomes hard underneath the Earth's surface, it's not able to reach the top. It's not able to reach the ground, but it becomes hard, or it stiffens, or it becomes a solid, or it solidifies, whatever English that you can use there, but it fails to continue moving up and going to the Earth's surface and coming where we are at the ground. All right. So we say this is known as igneous intrusive activity. So igneous intrusive activity is basically when this molten magma solidifies, or when this molten magma becomes hard or becomes a solid underneath the Earth's surface, or underground basically, because remember the Earth's surface is where we are at, which is the ground. So here it is trying to rise up as well, but then it solidifies. So it can solidify, or it can become hard and stiffen up in different shapes, and then we can actually give those shapes some names. All right, let's start with this one. We have got a batholith. So a batholith is known as the largest landform that is made up of granite. So basically, when the molten magma is rising and it forms this large shape here, it just solidifies and forms this large shape here. This large shape, or this landform, we say is known as a batholith. So batholith just refers to the largest. This is the largest of all the landforms that can form underneath the Earth's surface or underground. So a batholith is just that largest landform that is made up of granite. We're still going to talk about the type of rock that is known as granite, but basically, when the molten magma is trying to rise and it becomes hard and forms a very big landform, that big landform is known as a batholith. It can happen that it forms a laccolith. A laccolith is a mushroom shaped. I'm sure you know what mushrooms are, but you guys are so young to know this. So mushrooms are something like this. They look something like this. This is how a mushroom look like. So most mushrooms, they look like this. I actually like to eat them. Izinkwane. I don't know whatever language that you use to describe them. So do you see that the shape of a mushroom is more like this? It's more like this. So when we form a mushroom shape, just like this one, you can see that here the molten magma solidifies in this green shape that I'm highlighting right now. Here, this one, this green shape highlighted right now, you can see that it is the magma that has solidified, or that has become hard, and it formed a shape that looks like a what? A mushroom. So whenever we've got a mushroom shaped landform due to this a molten magma that has become hard, forming this type of shape, it is known as a laccolith. A laccolith. A batholith is the largest one, whereas a laccolith is a mushroom shaped. So this mushroom shaped, how does it occur? It occurs when magma pushes overlying strata upwards. So basically the magma here, it is actually pushing the rocks upwards. So the rocks here, the sedimentary rocks, will actually be pushed upwards. Whenever they say strata, we're talking about rocks, but then we're still going to talk about that later in grade 11. For now, you just need to know that the layers of rock above the laccolith, it is actually pushed up in such a way that it makes a shape that looks like what? That looks like a mushroom, just like those beautiful mushrooms that we eat at Woolworths because we've got money, right? So basically a laccolith, mushroom shaped landform, and then it forms as a result of magma that pushes the overlying rocks or the overlying strata upwards. So these rocks are just pushed upwards and they make this shape. This is the shape of the rocks, and then they make a laccolith. It can also happen to have a lopolith. Remember, there's a laccolith mushroom shaped. Lopolith, it's a basin shaped, so it looks like a saucer. I don't know if you know a saucer, but I don't know if my house has a saucer right now. But basically, I would have looked for a saucer if I had one. But basically, okay, I mean, if it was clean, I would have used a saucer in this video so that you see me. I'm sure you see me here. So basically, here, a lopolith has got a shape that looks like a saucer. Look at this. This is how a saucer looks like. This is a saucer, or it's a basin. The basin that you carry food with is like a plate or something like that. Grade 10s, you get me? Yes. So this is a lopolith. So you can see that in this diagram, the third landform that was formed here when the molten magma solidified, here, the one that I'm highlighting with purple, this one, it looks like a basin. It looks like what? Like a basin. It looks like a basin or a basin. It just looks like it's a cup. It just looks like a cup, something like this. It's just the opposite of a mushroom, because a mushroom looks like a basin that has been flipped upside down, but a lopolith, it looks like a basin that is right up. But you can just say mushroom shaped for lacolith, but for lopolith, it must look like a saucer. It must look like a saucer, just like this one. And then this actually happens, or it is formed, when layers underneath are weak, and then those layers actually sink down due to the heavy magma. So basically, the magma here, it is heavy such that the layers of rock will sink down, something like this. So the layers of rocks will sink down. These layers, these horizontal layers that you can see, these brown ones, they will actually sink down, causing the lopolith to be formed. So lacolith, the rock is pushed up. Lopolith, the rock is sink down. Okay, the magma actually is heavy and the rock will sink down. So it's the opposite. But the shape, batholith is the biggest one. Lacolith is a mushroom shaped. Lopolith is a saucer shaped, or it's a basin shaped. In grade 11, you're still going to do more, but for grade 10, you just need to know these three. Now, let's look at the type of rocks. I've been talking about granite and whatnot, and you must be confused. What is this beautiful guy talking about? Oh, I mean this handsome guy talking about. So, the types of rock that we have got igneous rocks. So, igneous rocks actually form when magma rises through the crust, it cools and crystallizes. Remember, we have said that the igneous intrusion or igneous intrusive activity, it occurs when the magma is not able to reach the top of the earth, which is the earth's crust, where we are at the earth's surface. Okay, but when it happens, or if it happens that the magma rises successfully, let's just say here it is where we are, this is the earth's surface, this is you here. If it happens that the magma rises successfully and it actually comes out as a volcano, whenever they tell you that there's a volcano, that is actually molten magma that is rising to the earth's surface. So when it rises and reaches the earth's surface here, since the earth's surface has got conditions that are way colder than underneath, it will just become a solid and it will form the rock that is known as an igneous rock. So the igneous rock, it is formed when molten magma is able to rise from the mantle and actually reach the earth's surface, or it rises through the crust and reaches the earth's surface, where it will cool down and it will crystallize. When you say that it's crystallizing, it just means that it is becoming a solid. That is why we have got mountains. Basically, the mountains that we have and all the stones and rocks that we have on the earth's surface, they are actually due to the molten magma that has risen over the years in the past, okay, where our ancestors live. Okay, so basically over the years, the molten magma rises, and then when it reaches the earth's surface, it solidifies or it crystallizes. Okay, and then this will form igneous rocks. So the igneous rocks are the strongest of all rocks. Igneous rocks are strongest. And then, for example, examples of igneous rock is granite, obsidian, and basalt. We've already talked about granite quite a couple of times now. We've said that the continental crust is made up of granite. You know that in our previous video, right? And we have said also the oceanic crust is made up of basalt rock. So all of those are examples of what? Of igneous rock. So granite rock, you probably know it already, especially if you live in a fancy house or something like that. You can see this is granite. It looks shiny, and most of the times it is used for decorations. So you can see these wonderful tables that they have in their beautiful homes and whatnot. I mean the non-African homes. So basically, these tables here, they are made up of granite rock. So granite is used for decoration purposes as well as designing tables. So granite is very important. You probably find it in many places. Okay. We have got another type of rock known as sedimentary rocks. So the sedimentary rocks are secondary from the igneous rock. They are not that strong, but they are quite strong in a sense. So the sedimentary rock are formed by sediments that are deposited by the wind, by the water, or by the ice. So when waste, we say the waste is known as sediments. So when waste products and materials from the ground are collected, okay, are collected, or they are washed away by water, by wind, which is just air, or by ice, those sediments, they can combine together. So we are talking about waste material. It can be waste material, plastics, and whatnot, and all not. So all of that will do what? It will combine. We say they're known as sediments. Sediments are just things that have been deposited by water, by wind, or by ice. So those materials that have been deposited, maybe they've been taken from the ground, or maybe it is the plastic that we are just throwing. It actually combines together. Okay, so those sediments will combine together to form a sedimentary rock. So basically, in our previous diagram, the sedimentary rock, we are talking about these brown rocks here. These brown rocks here, these brown rock layers, all of these layers here, they are layers of sedimentary rock. So the layers of sedimentary rock are found underneath the crust. They're actually the ones that are making up the crust in most cases. Okay, although we have granite, as much as we've got granite and whatnot, but when we're talking about sedimentary rock, we are talking about those rocks that have been formed when sediments combine. Okay, so example, we have got conglomerate, as well as limestone, as well as shale. All of these examples are examples of sedimentary rock. At least these ones are the most common ones, and they might pop out in your exam. And then now we have got metamorphic rock. A metamorphic rock is a combination. Okay, so a metamorphic rock is actually a combination, in a sense that a metamorphic rock will form when igneous rocks or sedimentary rocks are changed by heat or pressure. So the metamorphic rock is the weakest one, basically. So it can happen that if you burn this granite, remember granite we said is an igneous rock, so it can happen that you burn the granite. So when you burn this granite, you put heat on it or you put pressure on it, it can happen that it can change into another rock. That rock will be a metamorphic rock because this rock actually was formed it was formed from an igneous rock or a sedimentary rock that was subjected to heat or that was heated. All right. So we can take even limestone, it's a sedimentary rock. And if you put limestone under a lot of heat, you burn it. Basically, when you're applying heat, you are burning something. So you burn limestone, you can change it to another rock, and that rock will be a metamorphic rock. So the metamorphic rock forms as a result of a sedimentary rock or an igneous rock being forced to get heat or pressure, or being changed by heat or pressure. Examples of metamorphic rock is gneiss, as well as marble, as well as slate. All of these rocks have been obtained from sedimentary rock and igneous rocks that were heated and that received pressure, causing their structure to change to be a metamorphic rock. Thank you, Cocomelons, for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to stay tuned.